Hi everybody, it's Alex Newton from K-lytics, today with a special seminar on the market for self-help skills and self-improvement related ebooks. This research is covering 93 sub-markets of this genre, and since I know many non-fiction authors and publishers are pursuing this market, I really felt you have to know the facts about this. And if you ever wondered whether you can make money with such type of Kindle books, this research is for you. So let's start out with a brief introduction and genre overview, which you're going to find very interesting if you're not familiar with this. First of all, where do you find self-help related titles? There are two main branches you can pursue on Kindle. One is here on the left-hand side, the main Kindle category self-help. It only breaks down into subcategories, about 11 of them. But then there are 9 main other categories, ranging here from business and money, children's ebooks, all the way down to religion and spirituality, which have self-help related subgenres. In fact, there is about 10 subgenres and another 72 subgenres, of the like here, like health, fitness, dieting, relationship, interpersonal relations, or non-fiction, self-help, stress management, these type of categories that you find on Kindle. Let's look first at the result of what's happening in this main category self-help with its 11 subcategories. First of all, on a high level, self-help is the 12th highest selling category on Kindle if you put aside the umbrella categories literature and fiction and non-fiction. But you see at an instance here that compared to the big fiction categories, the sales are rather low. The good news is if you look at the self-help top 100 bestseller list, how it's been trending over time, then the good news is here towards November 2016, here the second half of 2016, there is an upward trend that can be noticed in the genre overall. That's the good news. And if you break it down into these 11 subcategories, then motivational, personal transformation, and happiness lead the subcategory sales in self-help. For example, the average sales rank of the top 20 titles in self-help motivational is around 1,776 here over a couple of days in November, followed by personal transformation 2,387, but then you also see it drops down fairly quickly. So if you write books about your self-help inner child, the average across the top 20 is only 73,000 as a sales rank, which is barely a copy a day. And if you look at this over time, motivational and personal transformation have seen a head-to-head development in sales. And here, self-help happiness catching up towards them in late November 2016. Another piece of good news about self-help, prices are still surprisingly actually pretty high. I know there are many junk self-help titles out there on Kindle, but if you look at the top 100 bestseller position and compare them with all the other Kindle main categories, you see that the average price here is around $7.84, which if you compare it here to all the other categories, is still here in the mid to higher tier on Kindle before you have this huge drop off towards genres such as religion, spirituality, or romance, which show the worst price realization on Kindle. And over the last year, the prices for self-help ebooks have also been fairly stable. I mean, perhaps here a very slight downward trend, but you see it's fluctuating around the $7.50 to $8 mark, and that's very high. The bad news about self-help, like in many other genres, competition is intense, and it currently stands at approximately 108,000 English Kindle titles, which in absolute terms is high. In relative terms to other Kindle categories, it's middle of the pack. I mean, if you have specialized categories such as law here at the top of the list, where the competition is the least, you have about 44,000 titles. But all the way down here, look, for example, religion and spirituality is quite amazing, where you find currently more than 400,000 Kindle ebooks on the market. And that is just the English-speaking titles. And if we compare self-help, the 108,000 titles November 2016 to what we had about a year ago, it's a growth in titles of about 20%. And well, it is doubtful, very doubtful, I think, that the market, the demand side of this has also grown at 20%. So probably competition is now here outgrowing demand if we look over the past 12 months. Now, of course, you can and should have a niche strategy, and if you just look at these 11 main Kindle categories in the self-help genre, there are submarkets that represent relatively small niches. I mean, things like journal writing or inner child or memory improvement, you have basically 1,000 titles or less in the subcategory. However, what we call the sales to competition ratio is not very attractive for most of the main self-help categories in the main self-help genre. What this table shows here is in the first column the subcategory in self-help, then here the sales volume measured by the sales rank of the top 20 titles over a certain period of time compared to the competition. This is the number of titles in the category. If you divide the one by the other and build a certain index, you get here what we call the sales to competition ratio. The higher the value, the better. And anything below 4 is not very attractive. And you see most of these titles, subcategories, have a value below 4. So they fall into what we call here beaten track mainstream or slow niches on the Kindle market. So it is really about finding the right niche, as in any ebook market or genre. And here, for those of you who are interested, this is the current top-selling cover art in self-help, and it cuts across many styles and subgenres, because the whole category is as diverse as can be the topics in it. However, we do see quite a bit here of blue, white type of covers compared to the more red, orange type of things, and the plain white is also entering here into the market. Top trending search words. So what are the Kindle readers actually looking for when they look for self-help related titles? Here we made a selection of relevant keywords as they are currently being published by various sources such as Merchant Words and others. Have a look at it for yourself. It gives you a feel of what is trending on the demand side. We have here a list of 2 pages for you in the report, which you can download. And no surprise, if you look at the top trending words in the best-selling titles, the top 30 words as they appear in the top 100 bestsellers, over 7 bestseller positions, actually, not books. The bestseller positions can be various books getting in and out of the bestseller list. You're monitored over 7 days. No surprise, it is about improving life, success, business, happiness, and so on and so forth, which is also reflected in the top 50 words of the book descriptions. Have a look for yourself if you want to dive into this. Then to close off here on the main 11 self-help genres, if you plot them on the K-lytics strategy maps here, they're basically middle of the pack. They're not in the green area, which are the hot sells, hot niches, hot mainstream, which have a very attractive sales to competition ratio. But there's also only one here, 364 and 365. That's inner child and journal writing, which are at the borderline of really being a non-seller. The others are here in the middle of the pack, slow sells and niches and beaten track mainstream. So we have no hot sells in this, no hot niches, no hot mainstream, no competitive bestseller. Here's the list of the beaten track mainstream ones, followed by the slow sells and niches, and they're sorted in descending order by sales to competition ratio. So download the report and have a look for yourself. Then we have the research results in the report for the self-help related sub-subcategories, sub-subcategories in other main categories. So that's the other branch where we really found weeding through more than 3,000 sub-subcategories. We found quite a whole number of self-help related sub-subcategories. Now this, by all means, it may not be the perfect list, but it is a very good list. So first of all, self-help related submarkets can be found in 9 other main Kindle categories. So it's very diverse, and of course you find a whole number of these books in, you know, whether it's parenting and relationships, you find them in reference book, you find them in business and money, in health, fitness, dieting, and so on and so forth. And if you plot all these other ones on the K-lytics strategy map, you see here again, only very few get into this area of hot sells, hot niches, hot mainstream. The bulk is in the beaten track mainstream and slow sells, slow niches. Sells are basically defined as subcategories where the competition is anything up to 2,000 titles. Then niches is what we call categories between 2,000 and 10,000 titles, and mainstream is anything where you have a supply market of more than 10,000 titles in it, all the way leading up here to 100,000 titles and more. So here is the list of a couple of these categories or subcategories that make it into the green zone. Perhaps one comment on the first one, self-help journal writing. This ends up, you see here the sales rank of the top 20 title is only 42,000, but it ends up in the green area because it's better than 50,000 as a sales rank. And the competition in this one is like really low. There's only 185 titles, so it's very easy to rank in. I would probably not invest into it, but you know, mathematically speaking, it is a hot sell. But have a look at these other ones, you know, business life, personal success, management, leadership, motivational, business life, motivational, self-improvement. Interesting here also, addiction and recovery, self-help books about alcoholism. Fare pretty well from a sales to competition ratio point of view. In the downloadable report, you find then all the rest of these categories sorted in descending order by sales to competition ratio. So here you have all the facts: the sales volume, the average price, the level of competition, the number of pages in the book, and the position on the strategy map. So in conclusion, self-help is the 12th highest selling category on Kindle, so you know it's right there in the middle of the pack. The sales have been trending back up in recent months. That's the good news. Motivational, personal transformation, and happiness lead the way in the main self-help category. The price levels are in the medium to higher tier, very high prices. That's the good news. More than $7 for the top 100 titles. But competition, as in all the other Kindle genres, is intense. Currently 108,000 Kindle titles in just that main category, and that supply of book has grown by 20%. So given the number of titles available, it's really essential to define the niches where one can find high sales and a low degree of competition. And as said before, the self-help main category offers only few opportunities in this respect. The main Kindle category, self-help, breaks down into 11 submarkets, and basically none of these, 0% of these core self-help category submarkets show a favorable sales to competition ratio and or fall into the K-lytics categorization of hot sells, hot niches, or hot mainstream. So, but obviously, it is not only the main Kindle category self-help that contains books relating to self-help, personal transformation, personal growth, and the like. There are these 9 other main categories ranging from business and money to children's ebooks, where self-help submarkets can be found. And in this case, only a few submarkets outside the main category self-help fall into this green zone of attractive segments. So as said, the first one here, nonfiction self-help journal writing, you really have to take it with a pinch of salt. Health, fitness, dieting, mate seeking, you know, trending high, children's ebooks, growing ups and facts of life, friendship. I mean, all these are very, very tiny niche markets, and the only reason they really do appear here is because they have such low competition. It's a bit different here with business and money, business life, personal success, and management and leadership, motivational. These are big and high selling mainstream markets. These are the best ones, but obviously here you also have to face quite a bit of competition. So in summary, self-help, and many people don't realize it, they go into this segment head over heels because they think it's easy to publish a self-help related title. Well, it is a very difficult niche market for ebook authors and publishers alike. It offers only very few niches where the sales are high and the level of competition is still manageable and low. Having said this, however, the top 100 titles of the bestseller list do show very high sales, and some of these titles have been in the top 100 for a while. It's pretty sticky. So you can see here a separate report I've done for you on the self-help top 100 for more information, and that report will give you what's really happening in the top end of the market, so that you can almost see what is the niche within the niche that is selling, and what can you do to potentially emulate those top selling titles if you want to pursue a non-fiction type of career. So please do have a look at this second report I put together for you, the market snapshot on the self-help top 100, where we monitored the top 100 bestseller positions over a period of 4 weeks. You will find in this report a top 100 title database with all the key book data points, including the book descriptions for further research and reference, and also a estimate for the bestsellers list monetary performance, as well as certain profiles for this bestseller list. What are the price levels, the short reads share, typical cover art, etc. So the one thing I do want to point out here, this is, from a data point from late November 2016, and you see the number one title here ranks at around 48 on Amazon overall, so that's out of more than 3.5 million English-speaking titles. The top 20 title is still at around sales rank 1,199, and also the top 100 title sells still about 20 copies a day, ranking around sales rank 6,000. So have a look. As said, the whole thing is trending up. The pricing profile is also pretty healthy overall. We looked at the prices. It's scattered around the whole pricing scheme. The majority in the top 20 here is at the 2.99 price point, but as you've seen in the other report, the average price is pretty high with more than $7. Also have a look at the short reads share. This is in the top 20, in the top 80, in the 100 overall. The short reads share is only like 1 out of 10 books. So it's a common misconception that you can write short books in self-help and get away from it. Those books that truly sell are not short reads in the main. Yes, you will always find the one or other book, but overall the share is only 1 out of 10 books that makes it into the top 100 is a short read with 100 pages or less. And then it's also interesting to see, well, what are the categories that top 100 books are using? I mean, some of them have 2, some even 3 categories, depending on whether Amazon allowed them to have a third one, combined with a print book categorization. These are now only the Kindle books, so the most of the top 100 books you find in motivational, in personal transformation and self-esteem, then followed here by business and money related ones. So that's the frequency of usage, self-help, happiness, etc. And if you then plot it on the map and plot it against all the other 3,000 subcategories that are available on Kindle, as mentioned before, it's basically a middle of the pack market. It's with categories between 2,000 and 10,000 here, mostly sales and niches, and the sales level is like where you would expect it to be compared to this type of competition. It's in the middle of the pack. Sales ranks on average for the top 20 titles in these categories. Each of the yellow blobs represents a subcategory or subcategory, and you see the sales ranks fluctuate here between what is it like to 20,000 up to 5,000. We touched upon the top bestsellers and their cover art here. Here, one for example here, Habit Stacking, a book by Steve Scott, who's done again like a super job in his book marketing and bringing his book into this highly competitive top 100 self-help top 100, and it's been there already now for a while. If you'd like to explore these books further, in this report you have a complete list of the top 100. Also pay attention here to this one column here with these green blobs. A dark green blob means the book has also been in this list 4 weeks ago. So you see it's a mix of fresh and older titles. And it also gives you a feel of how sticky the top 100 is. So the books that you do find up there, I haven't done the exact count, but I'd guess about 60% of the books have been in this list already 4 weeks ago. So have a look at the report. You also find here all the book descriptions, and so that you get a quick overview of what these books are about. And if you want to click on any of these in real time, they are linked to the Amazon site here, so you can have a look at how they are doing at the very moment in time. If you look at click on the number here in the front end. All right, so much for the special research. This was a seminar on the market for self-help related ebooks. I hope you enjoyed the research. I hope that you were not too shocked about learning the true facts about this market. It's not an easy market, not at all. And I always wonder how many people, jump into publishing nonfiction books because they think it's easier. But looking at the numbers, I would give this second thoughts. So much for today. If you want to find out which Kindle market niches offer true potential out of the more than 3,000 sub and sub categories, come visit us at K-lytics.com. That's K-lytics.com. I look forward to seeing you there. This is Alex Newton. Bye bye for now.